Here's what it's like to retire in the United States. Hi there, everyone. It's Jeff, and this is Plain English, where we use stories to help you upgrade your English. When you listen to stories in English, you start thinking in your new language, and you'll remember more. This summer, we're doing stories all about daily life and culture in the United States. We talked about kids a few weeks ago, what it's like to go to school in the United States. Well, today we're talking about a different season of life, retirement. You'll learn about what retirement is like in the United States with the big caveat that this episode is very general. There are many ways to do retirement, but today we'll talk generally about what it's like. In the second half of the episode, you'll learn what it means to stay put. This is lesson 702 of Plain English, and that means JR, the producer, has uploaded the full lesson content to plainenglish.com/702. What do you think of when you hear the word retirement? Some people look forward to it. After a long working life, they can finally relax, pursue hobbies, travel, and spend time with family. Other people dread it. They're worried about their health and worried they might not have enough money to pay for the lifestyle they want. Still others put it out of their minds. Retirement is too far in the future. Whichever camp you fall into, you might be curious about what retirement is really like in the United States. That's a hard question to answer since there are about 50 million retirees in the US. That's like the population of Spain. But let's try. When do people retire? Well, there is no mandatory age to stop working, but the average retirement age is about 64. There used to be a large gap between the retirement ages of men and women, but that gap has narrowed in recent years. Men typically retire at age 65 and women at age 63. Next, how do people pay their bills in retirement? In the US, we have a public pension system called Social Security. But this is not intended to fund a person's entire life. The average monthly Social Security check is $1,900. Not very much for an entire month. Seniors can start collecting their Social Security benefits at age 67. However, those who wait and take it later get more money each month. Americans are encouraged to save money in special retirement savings accounts while they are working. There are several ways to do this, but they all take more or less the same form. Employees deposit money from their paychecks during their working lives. Employers sometimes, though not always, contribute a little money too. The employee invests that money in approved investments, including stocks, bonds, mutual funds, even, in some cases, real estate. The median worker retiring at age 65 has a retirement savings balance of about $200,000. That might sound like a lot of money, and it is, but that's not enough to fund a luxurious lifestyle. And because the savings plans are optional, a lot of workers reach retirement age with no additional savings. You might be wondering about employer pension plans. Some lucky employees have a pension plan, but that's rare these days. Government employees often get pension benefits, but most private sector workers do not get a monthly pension in retirement. Saving for retirement really is an individual responsibility in the United States. Those who save more during their working years enjoy more flexibility in their retirement years. Many people do work in retirement either out of necessity or just to stay busy. How can it be retirement if they're working? Well, a lot of retirees take part-time or seasonal jobs, which are less demanding than their main careers were. Some drive for Uber, some work in retail, some do part-time or substitute teaching, and others do consulting or part-time work in their former careers. Where do retirees live? About a third of retirees stay in the houses they lived in while they were working. Those who choose this option say they like being close to family and friends, and they like their home. It can also be hard financially to buy a new house if you don't have an income. So staying put can be a good lifestyle and a good financial option. But a lot of retirees move. There are a few good reasons to do this. The first is simply size. After their working years, many retirees find they don't need a larger house. Their kids are grown, and the maintenance of a large house gets harder as the years go by. Cutting the grass, shoveling the snow, cleaning the gutters, fixing appliances, this is harder for older people. It costs money. It can be physically demanding. And if retirees don't need a large family home any longer, it often makes sense for them to go somewhere smaller. And there are options. There are many housing communities that include smaller, attached houses where outdoor maintenance is handled by a local homeowners association. Pay one monthly fee and never worry about landscaping or snow shoveling again? That's not a bad deal, right? Why else would retirees move? One word for you: cold. You might not mind the bitter winters of the Midwest or Northeast in your 40s and 50s, but that climate is hard on people in their 60s, 70s, and beyond. It's less comfortable as you get older, and with more free time, many retirees want to be outside for more months of the year. So many retirees move south where the weather is nicer. What do people do in retirement? A lot try to stay active by taking walks, going to the gym, and playing golf, tennis, or pickleball. They pursue hobbies like gardening, painting, musical instruments, and reading. Many choose to volunteer a few times per week. Others join clubs and organizations, go to community theater, or travel. Here's a popular trend. A lot of seniors like to take university classes. College towns are great places for retirees because they're often less expensive than suburbs of big cities, and they have great low-cost amenities. Universities and community colleges often let retirees take classes without having to take tests. Other universities offer classes specifically for retirees. Many retirees help with grandkids too. Childcare is expensive, so a lot of retirees help their own children by watching grandkids after school. Not every retiree takes this active approach. A lot simply like to kick back and relax after a long life of work, and if that's what they want, well, that's a well-earned privilege. I don't think about this a lot, but I would need to stay busy. I'd read a ton of books, history and fiction. I'd stop reading business books. I'd still exercise and stay active. I'd be in museums. I'd go to sports games. I'd visit national parks. I might finally try to grow a lot of plants. I'd love to have a dog. We'll see how it works out. We have lots of retirees in the Plain English audience, and I absolutely love that. I love hearing from all the listeners and members who make Plain English part of their retirement years. Hats off to you. Stay put. To stay put is to stay in the same place. Don't move around. And we use stay put in situations where a person might be likely to move, might be tempted to move, might want to move, but does not move. I'm purposely keeping things vague with the word move, so let's dive into the many ways you might use stay put. Stay put can mean you don't move your body. You don't go to a new place. Imagine you're with your family and you're on vacation in a big city. You want to take a taxi, but you don't see any taxis nearby. You don't want to walk with your whole family in search of a taxi, so you might say to your spouse, your partner, "I'll stay put with the kids while you find a taxi." I'll stay put means I'll stay here. I won't move. And it implies that your partner or spouse will go look for the taxi. You will stay in one place with the kids without moving. You can use stay put in the imperative. If you tell someone, stay put, you're telling that person not to move. Now imagine you're on that same vacation, but it's just you and the kids. You're going to find a taxi. You might tell your kids, if they're old enough, stay put while I find a taxi. That means stay right here and don't move while I find a taxi. Next, imagine you're out on a busy sidewalk and you see someone fall. The person is clearly injured and tries to get up. You might say to that person, "Just stay put. I'll call for help." Just stay put means stay where you are. Don't move. You're hurt. Stay put and I'll get help. The examples I've given you so far are about moving around, moving your body. Don't get up off the sidewalk if you're injured. Don't move while I look for a taxi. Things like that. You can also use stay put in other situations. Think about other ways you might use the word move. For example, moving to a new house. Where do retirees live after they stop working? Some move to a smaller house. They don't want the expense and burden of maintaining a full family house when their kids are grown and they're not working. Other retirees move to warmer climates. But about a third of retirees stay put. About a third of retirees in the United States don't move after they stop working. They keep living in the same house where they raised their kids. They stay put. They don't move. Switching jobs or thinking about switching jobs is another time you can use stay put. When we talk about quitting a job and getting a new job, we sometimes call that making a move. If someone is talking about their career or their job, they might say, "I'm looking to make a move right now." That means they're ready to get a new job. Or they might say, "I'm not ready to make a move right now." That means they're not ready to get a new job. And if that's the case, the person might also say, "I think I want to stay put for now." And that means I don't want to make a move. I don't want to switch jobs. So all of these examples with stay put are about not moving. It could mean not walking around, not moving to a new house, not getting up after a fall, or not moving to a new company or job. Use stay put when you want to talk about not moving around. And that brings us to the end of Plain English, episode number 702. If you want to practice using stay put, you can do that on the website right next to the transcript. There's a tab called Your Turn. Click on that tab and you can practice writing your own sentences with stay put, and I'll give you some personal feedback. We'll be back on Thursday. The topic on Thursday, jury duty. We all, most of us, in the US at least, we get called once in a while to serve on a jury. And on Thursday, you'll learn more about what that's like.